So I just want to say I normally record and edit these podcasts before putting them out to make sure the sound is good and stuff like that. This podcast was recorded last night before the Eric Morris hire was announced by everyone. So just as a heads up, I want to say that at the forefront. And also, my video quality is not the best in the world. Thank you so much for listening, and now to the episode.
The CGA Tour, a podcast unlike any other. Now your host, Calvin Alexander.
Hey Cowboy fans, today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance. Working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters.
To the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. I am still dealing with some eye issues, so we've got glasses for a little bit. Not that anyone asked or cares. But Trey, I want to ask you about the Oklahoma State football game from this past Saturday. Did you think we were going to pull it out? Did you think we were going to win this one?
You know, starting off, it looked great. If it was only where we played to the first half, perfect, great. 14-0, you feel real confident, and then nothing. I mean, I can't blame the defense. Defense has been really strong the last two games, I'm going to be honest. That's probably our highlight right now. They've come a long way since the beginning of the season, especially, the more high powerful offenses that they've had to deal with. But defense, feel pretty proud of. Offense, why did we change everything in the second half? I felt like we had a good thing going, and then second half just stopped. It just stopped. All the momentum just went out the window. I don't know if it was a good pep rally talk that the UCF coach had, or we just didn't show up.
I don't think we showed up in the second half, to be honest.
For sure.
We had, I believe, less than 30 yards in the second half. The main comments about this in the post-game thread on Reddit, which I'm a frequent viewer of, is basically how blank do you blow a 14-point lead to this UCF team? And the main reply with 87 likes is ZANE flourish. So I want to ask you about this. Do you think this is really ZANE? Because I got to be honest, I don't. I don't think this is all ZANE.
I know we kind of just stopped kind of doing as well as we did on the rushing. So it's like the offensive line kind of gave up. I feel like that's what started the snowball effect. I feel like because our rushing was a lot better in the first quarter than the second quarter. I just don't know what happened. I don't know if UCF just finally figured us out or what happened. But as far as I feel like our run just kind of died in the second half. And then that obviously came to just a passing offense the whole entire time. And because of that, they could kind of predict and probably have better plays / better blitzes and everything like that towards ZANE. Are there some head questioning moments that he did? Of course. His throws weren't the most accurate, but I wouldn't put it all on him.
I wouldn't. I will say there's some funny comments here I do want to mention, which is UCF before they all went shirtless and had a shirtless section, no points. After it, 17 straight points. Everyone's saying something. So if we're looking at the end of the day, we're like, what happened here? I mean, UCF was favored to win by 13.5. And I got to say, back-to-back weeks, Trey, you know what we did? We pulled it out. We covered the spread. We beat the spread, at least, which is a great point to have. But, man, it's tough. There's no one who's going to be driving out in a Corvette out on the field, helping us out here and trying to win us a game. At least as of right now. I see you're sponsored by Corvette today, so I had to put it out there. Well, Gavin Freeman had 40 yards receiving. Rodney Fields Jr. had 87 yards rushing. ZANE had 124 yards passing. seen. And it just was nowhere near enough. I mean,
No,
Jade,
it doesn't.
basically, the last drive for UCF was the Jaden Nixon revenge time. That was
Right.
it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
oh, where did that guy go? Oh, yeah, that's right. He plays for UCF now. How many times are we going to get to play a former Oklahoma State guy who plays for a different team? I mean, I'm glad we don't have to play Kendall Daniels because he decided to basically go, hey, lights are on. I might as well play hard now. Because last year, it was not the case. There are two pivotal times here that the odds makers or the win probability stats have Oklahoma State in the positive, which is when West Paul kicks it 63 yards off and they return it to 15 yards. That's right. It's like the point where it drops back
Right.
when they basically return it 15 yards. Then you have another peak here when and Parker Robinson basically gets the fumble interception,
Mm-hmm.
kind of both. No shotgun pass. And then you got another peak here with 9:47 left in the fourth. It's the last time Oklahoma State was expected from the win probability to win still. And that's when they gained no yards on a rush. So,
Yeah.
man, 9:47 left in the fourth. We're still favored to win. We're still win
Mhm.
probabilities. It's a tough thing to recover from because you thought you had him. We thought we had him. And then
For sure.
it's 14-7 with less than 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're on their backup quarterback, their backup everything. And our defense is playing pretty good. Just at some point, our defense was going to give out. So, and we saw it on full display.
I mean, if you think about it, the defense was out there. What's the total time? So, like, we had the first 3 and out. They were only had a minute of possession. Then we had another 1 minute and 10 minutes, 1 minute and 10 seconds, and then we finally had 3 plays, about 2 minutes. So, at least in the whole third quarter, they probably played about 10 minutes in the third quarter. So that's a lot of time. I think 10 minutes roughly. And then to the point where they finally scored that touchdown, they probably played another, it looks like about 6 minutes. So 16 minutes, that's a lot of time just being out there and playing a lot. Those 3 and outs really were devastating to at least the overall mentality. Because at least, like, I was okay with us moving the ball and that type of stuff, but some of the play call, I feel like more the play calling changed from win the game to protect the lead, if that makes sense. And that's what kind of, I feel like what shows the coaching is we need somebody to know what to do at this point. Because I feel like it was more of a coaching of the play calls other than ZANE or anybody in particular.
And ZANE, I'm not trying to be a ZANE protector or pro ZANE guy. When a guy has so much hope coming in and he just looks like a deer in the headlights, he just legitimately does not look like he has any time at all to have any pocket awareness. He just hasn't been given that. I don't think he was going to get that today, or excuse me, when we played Saturday, because we're recording this Monday here. But all of the yardage stuff just points to the fact that UCF blew us out. And they really didn't, because they had 2 turnovers. They also had 10 penalties for 72 yards. We had 2 penalties. We won the turnover battle. We won the penalty.
We won literally
We did
everything
not win
besides
the time of possession.
Oh no, not at all.
Well, the time of possession isn't like, to your point, they gained back time possession in the second half. We were leading it. We were keeping our defense off the field. We were going on longer drives. We were showing some offensive rhythm. It looked like we could do some stuff. But our 30 rushing attempts to their 36 were about even in yards per rush. Interceptions thrown. Okay, they got one more. But their yards per pass, man, that one pass they had to basically break it open in the second half, where they were like, Scott Frost or some offensive or defensive coordinator, I'm assuming offensive coordinator, saw something at halftime and went, hang on a second, we can run this one play and we'll have a touchdown. And they did it, and it was a touch. I mean, it was just the easiest thing. The camera operator was still stunned. He was just all over the place, just moving the camera around, just whatever. Because the ESPN never showed you what happened from the actual backed out view. It was just all zoomed in on those wide receivers' trips right, and then basically
touchdown.
We didn't have one guy. We didn't have one guy on that one guy. Like we did put a hat on the hat. We did not have that. So rough to say the least, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I felt it's back to, I feel like last year almost, like where we play to the team that we're playing against. So at least we're kind of back in that mentality. But I will say once again, from this perspective of this season, I'm glad we got a chance to actually kind of compete for once. Was it heartbreaking that we lost like this? Yes. Because in theory, we should have won. This is like the one time that we had like a clear, we're winning, we have the advantage and everything. So this one should have been a win. It's a lot of learning opportunities, I'm sure, for everybody involved. I mean, I'm very impressed with the group, but I know probably by next year we're going to have a whole new team.
Yeah, and there's a lot of questions I have with this team. Like a lot of questions. You got Wendell Gregory Jr., who deserves to get paid a lot of NIL money coming back. And Doug Meacham has some quotes here that I want to go over maybe in a second. But yeah, there's just so many different times that I'm looking at this team going, man, it looks like we have players. Like Gavin Freeman.
Right.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
He can keep playing for us. Rodney Fields Jr. can keep, like, he's a dude. But I also wish, like, Sam Jackson the fifth, I wish he had one more season as a true slot receiver instead of having to play quarterback for half the games or whatever it ends up being, or more than half, I think. It just, there's so many times where I'm going, man, some of these guys are not getting a fair break because just injuries. Like, I did that UCF podcast last week, and it was just funny to me because I'm hearing about, oh, yeah, other teams have injuries too. It's not just us. And I'm going, yeah, I guess so. Like, they don't have their starting quarterback. So if UCF has there's all these like what ifs. Like, what if we had Hosseini?
Right.
If we had Hosseini where they had to worry about the running quarterback or a mobile quarterback, I think we win the game. It's a 3-point game that worked out like this, where they have to have basically a game-winning drive they had, and then of course the first play we have from line scrimmage is just an underthrown pass.
Oh yeah,
it looked like
sure.
the receiver was too late to turn around. Looked like the pass was just underthrown, and of course it doesn't get tipped and like hits the ground, and we get a second down. And oh my gosh, we'll see what we got. It gets tipped like over our receivers' hands into their
and right into their hands. Yeah,
like if anyone wants to kill Zane, Zane's on main because he threw an interception into double coverage to end the game. Like you should not be doing that. That should not be a thing. But on the other hand, man, that just sucked. Like we didn't put up any yardage. We weren't close to them. We just were so behind. Here are the. So I'm mad, but like I'm not. I would say this. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. That's what we'd both say. Let me ask you about. There's 3 quotes here I want to ask you about here. So, Doug Meacham was asked today in the press conference. He had some different questions here, but they led to some of these stuff. So, he said, "Quote: The thing, obviously, you have to do a phenomenal job of picking the right players, and anybody can pick an all-star team. Okay. What are we? Really, the coach has got to be the guy. I think Doug Meacham at this point is just done. I think he's ready to be done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he's trying to give inspirational quotes. I think he's trying to be done.
I mean, he's also got put in the worst position possible because I don't think he was expecting Gundy to be out immediately. I think he knew Gundy was out the door, but he didn't think he was going to be out this like after the Tulsa game. So he got put in a rock and a hard place. He's tried his best. I do think he's got potential. He's just trying to obviously make it to the end of the season. Yes, like we don't have the money like Oregon does or something like that. I get that. Did we pick the right players at the beginning of the season? I don't know. We've always tried to pick like the 2 to 3 star recruits and then try to develop them. That was always like our motto. We did all right, but I don't know. Like it doesn't feel like we have enough depth because there's not enough people stepping up whenever somebody does get hurt. They're trying. I do see the try out there, but I don't think they're that talented.
Yeah, what's weird to me is that there were a lot of people retweeting somebody put together a poll before the season started, and I'll see if I can find it here in a second. Of Oklahoma State had the top 50 in the nation roster, like
Hmm.
49th in the country coming into the season. And so you go, okay, well, that theoretically would mean we don't only score 3 against Oregon, and we don't and let them score 69 points, 55 of which were on their offense.
We should at
You would
least be
think.
at a bowl game, you would think.
Right. You would think no matter what, like anything can happen.
Mhm.
But I think there's a couple of things here that are really something I'm going to take home and then think about year over year going forward. Is how often do you have a brand new offensive coordinator who has to be thrown into the head coaching job 3 games in, not
Mhm.
due to anything that was like a health reason or anything that was like, oh, maybe Gundy will be gone. It's like, you always tell us like that, you're gone. But you think coming into the season, Doug Meacham thought there was a 1% chance he was going to be the head coach 3 games
Oh,
in? No, not a
no.
chance. I
He's
mean,
still learning his
he to be
system.
trying to be an OC again. Well, like he was an OC not too long ago, but he wasn't an OC before he came in this year. He was at TCU. He's Gundy's guy, so he's not going to out Gundy.
Mhm.
Oh well, we were doing these things earlier, and this is why we weren't playing that great, or we got off to a bad start because he's not going to badmouth his former head coach, and I'm sure his friend. And then you have just there's a lot of times I want to say Doug Grantham, but I have to stop myself because it's Doug Meacham and Todd Grantham.
Yep.
But Todd Grantham, who gets paid more than Jim Knowles, like ever got paid at Oklahoma State by
Mhm.
year salary. Now I think Jim Knowles was offered the same salary and declined it from every bit of research I've done, but for less amount of years was Jim Knowles' difference. Granted, Jim Knowles still went to Ohio State, won a championship, and then has continued on with his coaching career. Hopefully, he comes back to Oklahoma State. We'll see. But as a defense coordinator, I'm so curious to know what the ins and outs were. If I can get a player on the podcast here, it'll probably be in a year or two. I doubt it's any guy currently on the roster. Just to hear, hey, what'd you think? What happened this season? When did the wheels really fall off? Did you know in training camp, like transferring
Mhm.
in or just being part of the program, that something was going on? But I will say, I'm very thankful in this Thanksgiving week that Gundy's no longer the head coach. Because to me, there's no way the season goes like this where Gundy still could have coached a good team next year. There's no way that we were set
Yeah.
up to be in a position where next year we could have come in and played well, played up to expectations, or really had anything to talk about going, well, Trey, you know what? Last year we at least I don't think with
Yeah.
Gundy there was anything to talk about. I don't think any donors were gonna get like if we still have the same record here, right now, with Gundy at head coach, I think we're all going,
Yeah.
hopefully
Win,
we're
win, win.
interviewing. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully we're interviewing other guys. Hopefully we're doing other stuff that we now know we clearly are.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of University of South Florida fans of Alex Golish who are getting at other OSU podcasters, basically Baseless Fire and Carson Cunningham. I mean, who do an incredible job. Like, if anyone's listening to theirs, I'm sure they're listening to me. Because clearly I'm trying to level up here on the whole call I'm on the side PPI discussion that they've been doing now for a couple months or longer. But it's interesting when you see all these guys defend their guy. But at least
Oh
right
yeah.
now we are going out there to search for guys, is my point.
Right.
And I'm thankful for that. We're in the coaching search. 7 days from now, you and I gonna be hopping on here going, hey, what do you think of Eric Morris? Like, is this the dream? Are we at it? Maybe
Yeah.
wait a little bit longer. If he ends up still coaching his team and leave it on the right note
Right.
because he probably doesn't want. Regardless of it, he's a former Texas Tech guy who is, I'm sure, trying to work his way up the coaching ranks. So if he sees Oklahoma State as the next part of the steps, he's no matter what going to leave his previous employer in a good spot.
True.
You want to have that referral lined up. You want to have that good referral source when you apply for the next job afterwards, and you're in a current job.
Does
So
it make you
I'm
nervous that like other teams are already kind of getting their coaches? Like for example, Virginia Tech, they locked down their coach. Do you feel a little nervous right now that we've been out there longer, I feel like, than most teams and we haven't like any at least I guess we've heard rumors obviously, but we haven't had any like lockdown per se.
No, and the reason being is that James Franklin was like a free agent. I don't think we were
Mhm.
ever going to go get him. I think the guys we're going after are all still employed. Like, I
Okay.
don't think we're going for a great question, but I don't think we're going for a guy that is currently a free agent. I don't think Nick Saban's coming to Stillwater.
No.
Hopefully that's not shocking to anyone. But you know what I mean? Like,
His name was in the
any
beginning.
guy
I remember that.
for like a half a minute to be funny, I hope. But like we're not getting Brian Kelly. That's the other
Right.
guy who's a big name out there. We're not going to get Billy Napier. That's the Florida guy who's got fired. And all three of those jobs, Penn State, LSU, and Florida, are all. I would hope it's a consensus and everyone knows are better jobs than Oklahoma State. But
Right.
it's those three, and then I think we're in the mix. I think between Arkansas, UCLA, Oklahoma State, I think we're in the mix. I think there's all like a, hey, you know what? Like, would I rather go coach at UCLA or Oklahoma State? Well, I think there's pros and cons no matter what.
Right.
I'm UCLA now having rumors they're going to be playing at SoFi Stadium. That's like, I mean, just way easier to get to than the Rose
yeah.
Bowl, and
Huge
way
stadium.
funnier. Way beautiful stadium, but like way funnier as well. Like, you're not going to tell me it's not going to be hilarious when they have to like. There's only going to be 50,000 people, so the whole upper decks are just kind of completely level 6 and 7 of SoFi Stadium. Wonder why I know this information about it. Check a previous post. Are all blacked out. But my side rant on coaching here, I think we're just as good of a job, if not better, than Arkansas. Would you rather be at Arkansas? All their money NIL wise seems to be going to basketball.
That's
They've got
true.
Coach Cal there. I don't know. Do I really want to be the Arkansas football head coach? That where expectations are huge every year. You're always playing the teams in Texas that you're close to. Like, when are you not going to be playing Texas, OU, LSU, etc.? You're not drawing an easy SEC schedule every year.
Oh, no.
Any
You also
year.
have the off chance of playing Bama and Georgia at certain times, too.
Yeah, it's not like you're playing Vandy and Kentucky every year. And this year, Vandy's good, so you never know what you're going to get. I think we're okay. I'm okay with it that we're still okay. Let's see where we figure out. I do also. I don't think that in 7 days from today that you and I on a Monday. I'm sure this podcast will come out tomorrow, but you and I on Monday are going to be going, hey,
we know our
State
coach,
Eric Morris, or whoever it is. I don't think there's any chance we come back. I don't want to say any. I think there's a 10% chance we know that coach is next Monday, and that's because it's Alex Golish. To be honest, because their season be over. Doesn't coach the bowl game. Okay. All right, I can see that. But like the GJ Kennys of the world, okay, maybe, but that's not really getting my socks rocking here.
No.
I think the guys we are hoping to have the head coach, Colin Klein, Eric Morris, maybe Golish, are all going to take them a little bit longer. Like, we're not going to go get
Traylor too. We'll see.
Jeff Traylor?
Yeah. My thing is, I think OSU right now is testing Ben Arbuckle, and seeing if they like him and seeing how he is. Obviously, he didn't get, he's been thrown into the mix and he's had to elevate real fast. So I think they're testing him too to see if he would be a good fit just to be the head coach moving forward, but I don't think so.
All right, well, I'm going to leave you with 2 more quotes here on football here, then talk a little more about coaching search and senior day, and then continue on to basketball. This is from Meach earlier today. Just watch tape. You're going to see what you get. You can tell who it matters to. You can tell, like, after the whistle, kind of how guys react to certain things, kind of what you're getting. You don't particularly want the guy throwing his helmet on the sidelines, maybe, even though he's really, really good. It may not be really good in the locker room, that kind of thing. Second quote. So I think that part, just being able to assess and make good judgments on picking the team is critical. It's hard to do because the allure of picking the big, fast guy and all that stuff, it's hard to say no to. And then you just got to continue to research and see if he's a guy that's going to fit what you're trying to accomplish, end quote. All that seems to me is maybe Meacham wants to come back. Like, he's saying, hey, what I've learned here is you got to be a guy who scouts character. We're both former Oklahoma State Thunder employees. We are both very well aware how good of a job Sam Presti does at that. So to bring it to football and a completely different level of sport, but they're all pretty professionals now anyways. I think Meacham is saying, I got some scouting experience, and some of the stuff in the locker room is, hey, we're okay with some of these guys who are really, really good. transferring out because their attitude is, I should be doing more anyway.
Yeah.
And they don't want to try to get you that second or third win of the season when the season's gone. They're instead just NIL, portal. And I'm sure Meacham, after not being a head coach, not being offensive coordinator in his previous job, is loving the fact that he's got to deal with this with an interim DC who has done an incredible job the past 2 weeks. I mean, the job that Bowen's done after the bye week, incredible. I mean, after the first bye week that Bowen had to be the DC, Oklahoma State's done an incredible job on defense. Just, man, normally 17 points in the Big 12. The whole UCF podcast was, who's going to score 21 points? Neither team did, and neither team needed to. It's wild to me because we knew Oklahoma State wasn't going to score 21. Man, if we had scored more than 20, but if we had scored 21, we would have
maybe won.
Yeah. So what do you think about Meacham's quotes here?
First one, I feel like is, for me personally, I would rather have more emotions, at least on the sidelines. Yes, I know, like, this is not the best comparison, but, like, you see Travis Kelce, right? Travis Kelce gets mad. He'll throw his helmet. He'll get in Andy Reid's face a little bit. I know this isn't the best comparison, but, I mean, at least he's showing passion, and then, like, the next drive, he's doing that much better. At least he knows, like, his mistakes, and he tries to do better. So I feel like I want to see those emotions. Like, it shows me that you're passionate about the team or passionate about something than not. The second one, I get it. Like, I'm sure some people are going to be toxic, especially, like, just want to be better, more NIL. I really hate how the NIL is. I wish there was a rule that you could either take the NIL money, but you have to stay there the whole entire time, or something has to be in place to fix this. But that's not here nor there. That's another day of debate. But yes, it's the NIL that's really caused a lot of issues and changes the player's mentality. It's like, where can I get the best paycheck? Where do I have the best potential to actually truly make it to the draft? It's all up in the air now because the traditional ways are way different. But I do respect technically it's the third quote, but the last quote, I do respect it, but it's also still like a little frustrating too because I'm like, well then let's be the NIL powerhouse. I know that's not possible because we don't really have as big boosters as some other teams, but come on now, make it a little bit incentive wise.
Yeah, and I agree completely. I wish there was a NIL. You sign NIL, you got to agree to the contract or at least a buyout.
Right.
The NIL. Like if Wendell Gregor Jr. wants to go to, or another school wants to get him or whatever, he's the guy. I think that's the main focus here of most teams. Okay, if he wants to go to, for example, just gonna throw it out, wants to go to OU, they at least have to pay the buyout. I don't think it's a transfer portal type of deal, but they at least have to pay the buyout to reciprocate the funds for NIL that we spent on him last year or whatever it may be.
Right.
I would love to see something like that. There are a lot of coaching search information stuff going on. So 6 hours ago, we got McLean Baxley here, former podcast guest McLean. Hopefully have him back on here before too long. Here's the quote he has from athletic director Weiberg told the Oklahoman this weekend. I still feel good about our ability to do that at this point in regards to hiring a coach. Quote, the process is moving. We knew that this would be how it would shape up. There would be openings that occurred and that there would be a lot of dominoes that would start falling at some point. It'll be interesting to see how overall it all plays out, but I feel good about where we are. I'm not saying that, like, in quote, I'm not saying that that's the greatest deal ever, but there's just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, Lane Kiffin, like, what's going to happen there? There's so many information,
Right.
so much information, dominoes that could fall. I do think that, like, if Lane Kiffin goes or doesn't go, that'll be the Tulane job opening / the LSU job opening closing. We'll get a kind of, that domino will fall, as Weiberg's pointing out
Right.
here. And after that, Florida, Penn State, one of those two, I would say. I think the LSU job dominates, And then after that, what are we doing? Where are we
Right.
working at? Because Eric Morris going to Arkansas would be not great. Baylor keeping Dave Aranda, pretty great though, as Baylor's put out recently. So Oklahoma State athletic director there is keeping Baylor head coach Dave Aranda. So they do not get involved in the coaching search because I'm sure they don't want to at this point.
Yeah.
Anything else on the coaching search here that you've seen that's really kind of been new stuff?
I mean, not really. I finally see that we stopped going after Zach.
Angry about Ben Arbuckle and OSU testing him out?
Yeah. I think OU's testing them out. Maybe who knows what's going to happen with OU and all that stuff. Because I still think they may switch up some things. I feel like I could be wrong, but that's just my personality or my personal opinion on that. Other than that, I'm just kind of glad that we don't have Zach Robinson as like he was like front runner for the longest time. So, obviously that has died down or he's declined it, one of the two. Because that was like the big thing was Zach, and I was like, why? He has no idea what NIL is or the potential of what it is. So, other than that, I haven't really noticed anything.
Yeah, I didn't love the Zach deal because of what you just said. I also I want a guy who's currently in it. Like we've seen how it works when a guy does not NIL and wants to get into it a little bit too late and figure it out. We now need the opposite, in my opinion. Now, there's a lot to be said of, okay, do you want to bring a program builder, like a stability guy in, or do you want to bring an up and coming kind of head coach? So would you rather have a guy who's more tenured, if all options are open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have for example, James Franklin type of guy here, or someone of that sort that can come in, coach up the team, bring in some stability? Because after 21 years, it's a lot to rebound from.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, would you rather have a brand new, fresh face of college football in Eric Morris, Ryan Silverfield, Memphis? I mean, any of these guys here at this point,
Right.
that just kind of tickle your fancy a little bit, you know?
I feel like at this point, because what we usually do, I know I say what we usually do, we do new. We always done new. Like Mike Gundy was new. He stayed with us forever. Might as well try another new-ish person, see what happens. I feel like that's what we need. If that fails miserably, like within 2 years, then I would say we probably would need somebody that's like a stability type of program type of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I could see that there's just a ton of different options here, and I would love to see us just go with the new upcoming face. Like I don't the guy who's been around who can maybe help us out a little bit here or there and do some stuff. I'm against that because I think right now we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
We're in a good spot. I think there's a lot of different screenshots going around and links being sent, all type of stuff of, hey, your head coach could be this, and if it is this guy, the donors are ready. And we know for basketball, the donors are helping out or doing whatever because we've got Jalen Montanati, at the Oklahoma State game this past Saturday against Nichols interviewing fans. You know, so it's a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of fun, but I don't know. Let's go and hop to it here. I mean, I've been putting it off for a minute, but basketball is 6-0. Ye's back. Really, Jalen Curry's back after this last week, but Jalen,
he went off against Nicholas.
Nichols, you think?
Nichols, sorry. Yeah, Nichols,
hey,
whatever.
We interned a game at Nichols. We played Nichols, just to be clear. We interned a game there. Cowboys are 6-0. Have not been that since 2020. Started out a season. Won 95-81. And Marshall Scott, Pistols Firing blog, wrote his 5 key thoughts here. But, I mean, Curry finished with 30 points and 10 assists. He almost got triple-double. He just needed 4 more. 4 more rebounds there. But really, it was kind of a little closer at the end than I thought it would be, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah.
But you know what? We look good.
We do. We did. We even had a challenging game against the South Florida Bulls where we were at one point supposed to lose. We were like 78% chance of losing somewhere in there. But then we were able to turn that around. So, which is really good that we have the mentality to fight back. So that was like out of the two games, I'm glad we did so well against Nichols, whatever. But the South Florida game was more impactful for us. Yes, I'm glad we got Curry back for the second game, but or more involved in the second game. But it feels great. I just wish the stands be a little bit fuller for them, but that's the only downside right now is doesn't seem like we have. I think there's more people at the South Florida game, but I need Gallagher Iba to be full.
I think it'll be very full. One game I want to throw out on everyone's calendar right here, right now, is when AJ Devonta comes to Oklahoma State here in, I believe, February. I was trying to figure it out real quickly here, because I never did find that top 50 chart for the football. But he's coming to Stillwater here. Yeah, February 4th. That is a game to circle on your calendars right now, Oklahoma State fans, to get to Stillwater for. Now, granted, a weekday, 8 o'clock tip, that's a tough ask.
But
it's BYU.
It is BYU.
This is one of those, can we knock off KU at home?
Yep.
Crowds.
Like
fans
storm the court.
Stand, really get loud. Exactly. Have Marcus Smart doing a backflip. I'm not saying Jalen Curry can do a backflip, but maybe he breaks it out for that game, right, at half court. So you just got so many guys here. Offensively, Victorious Miller leads the team in points per game and field goal percentage. Clary leads the team in assists per game. Defensively, I mean,
we're doing really good.
Because that South Florida game, he went down with an injury to leave the game. I'm not gonna say kind of. He just did. He had an injury. It was a non-contact. It looked weird, but he played great. Got 5 rebounds averaging on the season so far. Isaiah Coleman, steals per game leader for the team, and blocks per game. Christian Coleman, the forward, the guy who was 6'1" at 17 years old and is now 6'8", with averaging about a block a game, really.
Woo!
And he's almost averaging 5 rebounds a game too. If you're rounding, he is, and I'm rounding. So,
rounding.
Look good. Am I too excited about this? This is one thing, because Northwestern this week will be a very interesting, very late, very fun away.
Yep. That's the one that will test us, I feel like, the most, besides the OU one that I've kind of already mentioned that before, but we'll see how we are. It does suck that it's on Thanksgiving, so I'm sure there's also going to be that mentality of being away, so we'll see how we are on that one. We should, in theory, be fine. I believe last time I checked, the percentage was we were still. Oh, it's changed the last time I've seen it. We're 75% to lose.
Wow. Where are you getting this from? Because it's not.
That's from ESPN. It's from ESPN. Okay. Sorry.
KenBomb.com has this as the 58th team in the country with the expectation that we will. Oh, you're right. Lose by 2. But it's a lose by 2. 41% chance that we'll lose. So it's a little different here in KenBomb. I guess our opponent's rank is 47th in Northwestern. They must have bumped up since I last looked at this.
They must have.
I'm excited for the game, though. I'll tell you what, because you know what, this is the fan match game of the day, basically. I mean, there's 2 other ones that are a little bit higher up there, but for whatever reason, this is the CBS games, but it's on Peacock. So CBS money back, so they sold it to the cock, and I'm glad somebody laughed. Thank you. It's just going to be the thrill scores of 69.3. This is the 3rd thrill score of the game here for KenBomb.com rating. I'm not going to keep reading a bunch of stats here, so I want to say I'm excited for this team. Like the South Florida game, that was incredibly competitive. I feel like South Florida can come back, face us again later on this year in the tournament. They're that kind of team. They're that good. Oklahoma State, we're projected right now to like 8th in the NCAA tournament by some sites.
I'm okay with it. It's been a while since we've been in the tournament. I just hope that we're not like a one and done type of thing. It depends on who we go up against, of course, but I feel like we could be like one of those silent eights that make it at least pretty far. I mean, of course, this is way too early in the season. We'll see how we play against Northwestern, but so far what I'm seeing is they got toughness, they got the defense, they got the ability to bounce back. We got, most of our players coming back, so I feel good about that, or playing. So feel pretty good right now. Very, very hopeful, that's for sure.
For sure. I'm super excited for the team. That's my biggest point. Super excited to see how this team plays the rest of the season. It looks very promising. This is a season where, hey, cross country, we won a national championship. And then the basketball team, how'd they do? Like, that's what we're taking away from this year. And a new head coach for the first time in 21 years. Those are the three things.
Golf, too. Don't forget about them. They won a national championship.
This season, that's right. I wonder what Iron Monk does their cans. They decorate them or have their, whatever the right terminology is, their can casings or whatever. Was a golf ball for this year for when golf won. It was a tennis ball when tennis won. What's it going to be now for cross country? Is it a shoe?
I would assume a shoe.
Maybe shoelaces. The shoelaces just wrap around the can.
Yeah, I could see that.
Are they going to raise the percentage of it ABV for cross country? They should. They should keep the trend going. if they're listening here, ironmonk.com, where we at? Raise it up. We're excited. I mean, we're 6-0. First time since 2020. First time since Cade Cunningham year. And that year felt like if it wasn't Cade, it was gone. It was not. This year, I don't feel like that at all. I don't feel like it's a one-player team. I don't feel like it's a two-player team. We haven't mentioned Anthony Roy yet. We've been talking about the team for 10 minutes. So, you know what? This is a game, Northwestern here on Thursday, that I'm really looking forward to. We never gave our score predictions, though, for senior day for Iowa State here as we kind of wrap this one up a little bit. What do you think? Iowa State? Senior day Iowa State is what are your thoughts here?
I'm going to say 21-17 Iowa State. That's what I feel like.
It's like no scoring. They're going
That's been the past 2 games though.
All right. Yeah, you think the defense really shows out again. I think
senior day definitely. If there is any
28. No, there's a lot of seniors. There's a lot of guys trying out for the combine, or at least like the OSU combine. I think it's gonna be like a 28-10 win by Iowa State. I just do think at some point we just aren't able to do anything offensively. I think Iowa State's defense is a lot better than UCF's, and that's really what will happen here. We had 2 kind of drives down. Great, we were able to show that. Great, we're able to do that, but I don't think it's going to work out real well for us. I don't know. There's some type of thing we can go on here with the Oklahoma State basketball team and talk about with some nicknames. You got Lefty, who played the most, so weirdly, the third most amount of minutes, but he had 6 points. He was 2 of 3 from 3. Parts of foul, almost fouled out. He had 4 fouls. I keep going from this last game against Nichols, but you know what? The main point here is we played good. We outscored him in every quarter except for the last one where we didn't need to. And we got a bunch of guys in playing a bunch of minutes. Like, that's all I can really hope for. And see what we got going forward. Northwestern, are you predicting a win or loss?
I'm hoping for a win, but it's going to be... I want to win. I want to win by 3.
We have yet to play a road game at all.
No, we haven't.
From being at the United Center on 9:30 p.m. at night on Thanksgiving.
Yep,
is really weird, but I'm gonna say we win. I'm gonna predict to win. I think it's gonna be that close. I think it's gonna be that weird of a game. I think you've got probably a lot of Northwestern students who are coming to this one. I would assume you almost have no home crowd. there's going to be some Oklahoma State fans there we'll see in the stands for sure, no matter what. There are a couple people in the Chicago area that should get their butts to this game for sure, especially if they're home for Thanksgiving. And then we'll see.
Yeah.
Then we've got Green Canyon and Sam Houston and OU and Kansas City and Cal State Fullerton and Bethune-Cookman, and then we start conference play in January.
Whoop.
That's where we've got Tech away, we've got UCF at home, we've got Iowa State away, we've got Baylor and Kansas State, K-State, and just all the teams you're going. Oh yeah, that's right. They're also the Big 12 now. We got Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, that's
Yep.
right. We also got Arizona State. Oh wait a second, they at least get to play Colorado, right? Well, yeah, but it's an away game this year, and Kem Hom has us projected to lose by 1 as of right now. So there's no nights off in Big 12 once you start conference play. So let's get this win against Northwestern. Trey, any other final thoughts here? Anything you're thankful for on this Thanksgiving episode?
Well, I'm definitely thankful for my family, and thank you for you for putting me back on here. And it's been a great year so far, that's for sure.
Yeah. Thankful for you for coming on, being the co-host here, helping hold it down with the CGA Tour. I would assume new name coming here for everyone who's looking forward to it, or more of an OSU theme. You know, we're clearly trying to, I'm clearly trying to level this up, bring on a co-host here, get things going, clearly take some advice from you and the stuff you're doing with your channel as well. So for all of those that are watching and listening on whatever platform, thank you so much. I'm really appreciative for you because the podcast has grown exponentially this year, and really a whole 365 days from today. It's incredible. I want to say we had 500-ish subscribers back in June. We're almost at 650 a couple months later. Incredible improvement. Yeah. So really appreciate everyone getting on some forward players, getting some more notoriety. Hey, I DM'd Spencer Sanders on TikTok trying to see if he wanted to join the podcast because he followed me there. That's the same thing that worked out with Shane Illingworth. So fingers crossed. I'll try to put out a plea a little bit here and see what we can do here on TikTok in a little bit. But I'm really thankful for all the Oklahoma State fans that are this locked in, this interested in listening to a guy yap about sports with you. You know, I mean, we both come from a sports background. We both worked in sports for several years. It's nice now to still work for Oklahoma State University and be in Stillwater multiple days a week, but also kind of, hey, walk outside, see Boone Pickens Stadium, and then see Gallagher, and then drive home. So it's a nice deal. And use some of the knowledge that you and I both have from working in sports for so many years to hopefully add some more insight to the OSU experience and for all OSU fans. So, Trey, thanks so much for joining here on the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. If you're not already, follow Trey at ShadowReady for all of the great gaming stuff that everyone should be getting into this holiday season. And if you're not already, I'm assuming you are, follow at the CGA Tour wherever you listen to podcasts, especially also on Twitter, X, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram. Send us some questions, give some stuff, and hopefully be back with a post-Northwestern game podcast. Be real late, so I don't know if Trey's going to be up, but we'll try to do it here. We'll see what we got going. It might be another one in the car because that's what the South Florida one was. Because, hey, if my wife's asleep, we're going to be out there on the street in the car, giving you guys all the info you want, reading about the Pokes. Go Pokes. Catch you guys again soon. Peace.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance. Working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow Poke helping you protect what matters most.